in 8 different dungeons with like probably 16 pulls each. You're gonna have a hard time remembering everything the second or third or even fourth time you're in that goddamn key. You have to know what to kick, when, to not overlap your stuff, communicate. You can only do those things once you know exactly what's happening, when, and why, and what it does. But half the people can't even tell me what the fuck the casts do that they're kicking. It's probably why they always kick like garbage-ass casts. To be fair, companies need to cater to casuals more than top tier because Amazon are casual. Okay, here's my hot take. No. Here's my hot take. No. And let me explain why. What keeps you from playing the game as a casual? If the endgame people clear 13s and 14s and you have to stick to a 9, what's the problem? You're experiencing the same content on a different, self-chosen level. The game can be as easy as you want. What's the problem? It is literally catered to casuals. A grandma in a coma can clear a normal dungeon. You join and you AFK and the NPCs will do it for you. You can be in a literal coma. How much more casual do you need it to be? The only reason people complain is FOMO. They want to be as good as the best players, as fast as the best players, with no effort compared to the best players. It doesn't make the game hard. You just don't invest as much time and it's okay. But it doesn't make the game not casual friendly just because you can't put the time into it. You can still do keys. You can still run dungeons. You can still raid. You just don't do it on the same level. I would understand if raiding on its base difficulty is so hard that even like seasoned players struggle. But it isn't the case. Every player base, going from most casual to semi-casual to hardcore to high-end, has their own difficulty. All the content you pay for, you can play, no matter how casual or pro. I think it's the absolute perfect balance.
Thank you for talking about wow, Lily. I finally understand how women feel when men talk about cars.
You're forgetting the Zoth LFR. Sometimes things are slightly harder. I cleared plenty Nazoth LFR. I know it's carryable if you know what you're doing. Maybe get one more friend that knows what they're doing and I guarantee you LFR is very manageable. Even if no one knows what you're doing. Sometimes all it needs is like one extra friend. I big disagree. I don't think games should be catered to casuals purely just because the majority of player base is casual. That will just make the game dead. Which game is still alive today with no endgame content? What game is alive that has no endgame content? They don't survive. That's just how it is. Because there's no FOMO. There's no wanting to get better. You need endgame content. League fucking get out of here. Skyrim doesn't count. Minecraft doesn't count either. They are farming sims, social games. They're not MMOs. You're not competing with anyone in Minecraft. Who the fuck are you competing with? With the fucking YouTuber doing like a castle build faster than you? Who the fuck are you competing with? No one. People find a way to make it competitive. If Minecraft didn't have a speedrunning community or any of those minigames or anything, if Minecraft existed purely in its vanilla form and the speedrun community would have never invested in it, do you really think it would have survived? Fuck no. Hot Wheels, wrong. Has a competitive scene. Next game. Monster Hunter has a speedrun community. Next game. Pokemon literally has tournaments. It's literally one of the most competitive games. Next game. My point still stands and everyone's proving it. Without competition, the game dies. Unless a game has insane story, and even then, people play the story and then what? Stray? Oh, let's see. Stray, a successful game. How come no one plays it right now? A successful game has had a good amount of sales. Why is no one playing it? Because they fucking finished it. Thank you, Gilvaras. Because they fucking finished it and there's no endgame. There's no incentive to keep playing. You play it once, and unless you want to relive the story at some point again or collect some achievements or find some secrets, there is no reason to keep playing. There is no community around the game. And if a game has no endgame content or anything to form a community around, the game dies. I'm not saying that just because a game is dead, it's bad. But when it comes to gaming, the online, the MMO scene, a game needs to be competitive. A game cannot and never will be able to cater to casuals and have a successful,
Lily,
long-lasting
which
life.
Did you start playing WoW with? Or did you start with Classic? I
Nope.
really enjoy your yapping.
My mom didn't
you
let
are
me.
awesome, Lily Shy Heart.
I was too young and my mom was like, nope, you're not gonna play this game online with other players. There will be men there trying to kidnap you. Yeah, there is tons of amazing, beautiful, like, history-breaking games, but they have no communities. Once people have done everything there is to do, like playing Undertale on a fucking dance pad, there is nothing to do. It dies. Without Endgame, there is no competition. Without catering to at least, to some degree, to elite players, there is no casuals. Exactly, and it doesn't mean it's a bad game. Just because your game's dead doesn't mean it's a bad game. When was the last time you booted up Undertale? Probably been a fucking year or two. Doesn't make it a bad game. It's probably one of your most favorite games you've ever played. But you don't play it twice a fucking week. Doesn't make it bad. Just proves my point though. It proves my point. Doesn't make it bad. But also proves the reason you haven't logged in like probably 2 years, and you've never really ever logged in twice a fucking week consistently for years like with other games. I lost the point an hour ago. The point was that people say the game's shit. World of Warcraft, that is. People say the game's shit. I disagree. And then chat's point was that World of Warcraft could at least be somewhat more casual friendly. And I disagree, because it is probably one of the most casual friendly games out there. But people want to say that it's not, just because there is a world within World of Warcraft that is high-end, high-tier, high elitism, big fat sweat endgame content that a casual obviously won't ever come close to clearing. Then the casuals get mad, because how come I play once every 2 weeks and I can't do the same thing? And yet the game's alive. One of the most alive MMOs out there, and has been for like centuries. Literally. Just comes to prove what works. And lots of people are gonna say it's just a bunch of boomers addicted to the game. No, it's not. And I will prove to you right now why it isn't. I promise you, every single fucking person that played WoW ever since whatever the fuck has quit the game. Full stop. At some point. They went to play whatever the fuck else. Some people for only a few weeks, some people for years. But they come back. Why? Because no other game offers what WoW offers. They find another game that they love and enjoy, but because at some point it's too easy and they are done playing and it's just too casual and they have nothing to accomplish anymore, rewards are all collected, they quit. And they go back to WoW. Because WoW has something very, 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 very little games offer. And it's consistent, high-end, competitive endgame. People can spend hours and hours and hours perfecting a craft. Other games don't offer that. It's like people love it. They can't accept you're right, I know. Some people just can't accept that I speak straight facts. Yee.